Hey everyone, it's great to talk to you again here as we approach the coming game against Ohio State on Thursday night. And we leave behind the horror of what happened on Monday, both football wise, which was crazy, and basketball wise. So now that we've got that out of the way, it's out of our system. And by that, I mean the intro here and the first loss of the season for the men's basketball team. Let's move on to the rest of it and see how the Boilermakers react to it. Now, because you really got to kind of feel that they got to bounce back tonight, you got to see some of the good and the bad of what happened Monday night. And if you don't know, here are some of the good and the bad things that happened during the game against Rutgers, where they lost 65-64 Monday night. First off, the bad. Look, the team didn't look poised at all, mainly because of a mix of swaths of loose, poor Purdue play, bad passing, a lot of things like that, and consistent Rutgers great play. They looked shook. Well, the Boilermakers did, and disheveled for one of the first times this season. Absolutely, they are a young team, and they did appear young, didn't they? In the first half, the freshmen looked 18 and 19-year-old freshmen, and it was tough on the Purdue team and its rhythm overall. Now, this produced poor shooting of the three ball, of course, and poor passing. No crispness to the offense at all. It was kind of haphazard. This led to undue pressure being put on the defense itself. And enough also cannot be said about Zach Edey being for long stretches in the first half sitting on the bench. This ruined the flow of everything. So you can see the two coming on top of each other. Unfortunately, no one stepped up in the first half to fill that gaping void. A couple tried, but no one fully did it. Now to some of the good, though. The men fought hard and had tons of energy. No one could say that their effort wasn't there, period. Plus, in the second half, they looked like they started to make changes and learn from the adversity. The whole team made adjustments and played much, much better. All right. Enough about Monday. Let's don't beat a dead horse too much and move on to Ohio State tomorrow night. Now, Coach Painter says he's going to stay process-based and keep pushing the guys forward to get better, but don't lose sight of the next opponent. So keep working the shots, keep working the passing, keep working the defenses, but don't lose sight of who Ohio State is and be ready to adjust to them if needed. So, after a 2-week hiatus, though, the Ohio State men's basketball team did return to the top 25 poll this week. Coming in at number 24, they beat Alabama A&M, and they came off a blowout win against Northwestern, where they took over early, and Northwestern could not keep pace in any way, shape, or form. A little history here. You remember the Boilermakers beat the Buckeyes 81-78 at West Lafayette in their only meeting last season on you-know-who, Jaden Ivey's late three-pointer. Now, Ivey also hit a critical three in a win over OSU the previous season. No Jaden Ivey this year. So, even with that, lately Purdue has the upper hand, but only slightly. Now, here are the main guys to pay attention to. You know who's on Purdue. But in this game, at 6'6" and 225 pounds, freshman wing Bryce Sensabaugh has established himself as OSU's go-to player. He has been named the Big Ten Freshman of the Week 3 times this season, all in the last month, and it's becoming a force for the Ohio State Buckeyes and what they do as a team. He's averaging 16 points on 46.5% three-point shooting. That shooting percentage is spectacular in any league, let alone the Big Ten. He's not alone, though, as help comes from Justice Swing, who looks athletic and energetic, and it's going to get like 13.5 points. That's his average, and he tacks on like 5 rebounds. Also, Zeg Key will be the main defensive opponent against Purdue's Player of the Year candidate, Zach Edey, or ZD, as I like to call him. Come on, guys, jump on board with this. All right, Key is averaging 13.5 and 8.5. And Bruce Thornton tacks on to the end. He's averaging 10.5 and 4 assists. So you have 4 guys averaging double digits and carrying the heavy load for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Team-wise, Ken Palm has Ohio State in the 11th spot. Ranked spot overall, that is, as a team. They're number 2 on offense and number 65 on defense. So a pretty good combination there. And their strength of schedule is pretty close to what Purdue's is. But I do find it amazing that both teams were not even ranked at the beginning of the season. Both teams have some big pieces that are new because big pieces left. But with Purdue's ascent or ascent into the number one spot, and now the OSU move into the top 25, we've got a matchup against ranked opponents again. Here are some of the questions for the game as I see it. There's just a couple. Can either of these defenses stop the opposing offenses? That's one that'll be out in the forefront. Both are highly rated on defense, but the Boilermakers have been struggling with the three-point shot in the last month. Will that hurt them? Question number 2, really, though. Can Purdue rebound after its first loss of the season and get a tough win on the road? It would be different if they were coming back to Mackey. You'd think they would be up for it. Will they be up for it on the road? It looks to be a great game, though, doesn't it? They're all great games in the Big Ten. Expect this one to go right down to the wire again, probably within a couple of points. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you next time for the post-game analysis in a couple days.
Shut up and sit down.